Okay, so I'm going to read out some other reviews to Revenge of the Cybermen to counteract my praise of the serial in the previous upload. Retrospective here. Rehash of the Cybermen from the Doctor Who Ratings Guide. This is from David Masters on the 18th of the 7th, 97. Without wanting to appear too glib, the success or failure of a particular period in Doctor Who's history tends to depend on the abilities of the script editor. Obviously, this is taking a deliberately simplistic stance. The producer, the lead actor, and various levels of showbiz chemistry will come into play. Nevertheless, we still break down the various Who eras according to either lead man or producer, but this seldom provides an effective guide to the various ups and downs in the quality of the output, often during the same producer's reign. A period of influence by a particular script editor, Whitaker, Briant, Dix, and Holmes especially, tend to be better indicators of script quality than looking at who was either producer or actor. I cite this in the introduction to the review of this story as Revenge of the Cybermen, or should that be Rehash of the Cybermen, seems to stand out as a blot on editor Holmes' copybook. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, the finished product is not highly regarded by the fans, being only average amongst a period of much vaunted classics, and secondly, because Holmes took it upon himself to rewrite Gerry Davis' original script, using the adaptation published by DWB some years ago as a guide, although I wouldn't necessarily suggest that this is entirely representative of GD's efforts, one can quickly see why Holmes thought the story needed rewriting. The original quite obviously had being written in the style of an early Troughton, with all the minutiae of that production style factored into the script. The problem, it seems, in these is these very amendments, as Holmes apparently rather pushed for time, replaced what he saw as Davis' flaws of a number of stock characters and situations, such as Voros, the mad scientist, and his rocket, coming rather too soon after Genesis of the Daleks. Despite a number of flaws, I don't consider Rehash to be quite the dud it is often portrayed as. The story is well directed, and although it never has one too near the edge of one's seat, it pretty much keeps one's attention. The major complaints tend to be fan grabs rather than anything else, over emotional Cybermen, spaceship interiors that don't fare well under a second glance, and were never intended to. I also seem to remember many favourable reviews of the story during the mid-80s, around when it came out on video, before BBC Video had churned out most of the Holmes era. Lots of comments about the authentic looking cavern scenes filmed at Wookiee Hole. Well, these scenes still look good, even if much of the remainder has turned to dust.